Hey scholars, today we're going to be looking at Module 2, Lesson 4. This one's going to be a little tricky, so we're going to look at a lot of examples, like 3 different types of examples to help you guys through it. And as always, we'll go over it during class 2 when we need to. Okay, so our goal is we're adding and subtracting multiples of 10 and some ones with 100. So I want to show you guys that compensation strategy that we were talking about on Tuesday. So what happens is for Module 2, Lesson 4, we're going to look at a number like 17 minus 9, and we're going to try to figure out what that equals. Now, 17 minus 9 is a perfectly valid way to solve a problem, and I have no problem with it. But can we make it a little easier on ourselves? Well, I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to draw our 17 right here, and it's going to be in a tape diagram. Remember, a tape diagram is where we have our number on a tape roll. And then what we're going to do is we're going to compare that with another number. So we're doing 17 minus 9. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find this blank area to see what 17 minus 9 equals. Because if I have the whole, which is 17, and a part, which is 9, I need to find the other part as well. So let's go ahead and look at an idea that I might have. So with 9, 9's kind of weird, right? Like 9's a bit harder to look at, 17 minus 9. What if we made it a little easier? Would you agree that if I added a 1 here and 9 goes to 10, it would be a little easier to look at? Yeah, it would be a little easier to look at because instead of 9 we're looking at, we're going to look at 10. Now, but if we do that, then the number's unbalanced and we can't solve the problem. So because 17 minus 10 isn't the same thing as 17 minus 9. But what if I told you we can add another one right here to balance out the equations? So we're balancing out our equations. So even though we added a 1 on the 9 and the 17, you will still get the same answer, which is going to be this. So 1 plus 9 is 10, and 1 plus 17 is 18. So now instead of having 17 minus 9, if you look up where my equation is, we're going to have 18 minus 10. So instead of having to count down by 9s, we can skip count by 10s. So if we go from 18 and we skip count by a 10 down, what do we get? We get 8. So you can do this with any addition problem, any subtraction problem. You just got to make sure that the numbers balance out in the end. All right, let's look at another way to look at it. How about a number line? So we're going to have the same number. So we're going to have 17 minus 9, and I'm going to show it on a number line. So we start at our 0, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is how I like to draw number lines, but you could totally draw them all the same size and count everything as well. So let's go ahead and we're starting at 9 and we're trying to get to 17, right? So 9, and then we're trying to get to 17. So 10, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And the difference is 8, as we talked about before. And we can count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, my question is, what happens if instead of starting at 9, we go 1 over and start at 10? Do we still need to go to 8 to get to our new answer? Well, let's check. So remember, we added 1 to 9 to make it 10, and now we have to add 1 to 17 to make it 18. That way we're still balanced. I'm going to write it this way so we can see. Let's go ahead and count and see if we have the same answer. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We still have 8. So as you can see, moving over 1 both ways did not make a difference in the answer, but it did make it a whole lot easier. Perfect. Now let's look at it with number bonds. Okay, so we have 28 plus 43. Now, remember with the number bond, we get a part and a whole, and two parts make a whole. So, why don't I do this? I can add 2. So what I'm going to do is, instead of 28, I'm going to add a 2 to make it 30. So it would actually be kind of weird. Okay, so let me go ahead and redraw this. So if I have that 28 plus 43, I actually have the ability to exchange where my numbers are going to go. Okay, now I see what's going on. So we have our 28, right? Well, what does it take for a 28 to become a 30? Because 30 is our closest friendly number. Well, we have this, well, it's 2. So what I'm going to do is have a 2 and a 41. So 2 and 41 make 43. But what's kind of cool is what I can do is I can combine this 2 and this 28 together. And that gives me 30. So now I have 30 plus 41. And 30 plus 41 is a lot easier to look at because we could just skip count by tens. Because we have 41, skip count by 10, 51, skip count by 10, 61, and skip count by our last 10, which is 71, which is our answer. All right, so that's going to be it for this part of the video. There's going to be an asking question in the next part, so don't turn it off now, and I'll see you in a couple seconds. Bye. All right, and we are back. So we're going to be working for our Module 4, Lesson 5. We're going to be working on Week 23, Part 1 continued. So we're going to solve 1- and 2-step word problems within 100 using strategies based on place value. So the first thing I want to do is I want to model the problem with you. That way you know what's going on and you know how to solve problems like that. And then we're going to solve it multiple ways. And then we're going to ask ourselves, is this answer reasonable? So after you get done with the problem, ask, is this reasonable? Is this a possible answer? Did I do it right? All right, cool. So we have 38 markers were in a bin, and Chase added the 43 markers that were on the floor to the bin. How many markers are in the bin? Well, a good key to what we need to do is the word added, which means we need to combine them together. We need to add them together. So we have 38 markers and we have 43 markers that were on the floor. So which numbers do we need to add? The 38 and the 43. So I'm going to show you guys with one of those tape diagrams we just learned. So we have 38 markers and we have 43 markers. So what we want to do is now we want to find the answer down here because we want to combine the two tape diagrams together. So we have the 38 plus the 43. So there's a couple ways to solve this. I like the number bond way. So let's go ahead and look at the number bond way first. So we have 38 plus 43. Oh, those numbers are kind of weird. Okay, I'm going to create my number bond. And I need a 2 right here to make 3840. So I'm going to take a 2 away from the 43. And remember, that's a part of the whole. So I also need 41 because 2 plus 41 makes 43. So now I'm going to combine this 2 and this 38 together, which gives us 40, but we still need this 41. So now we have 40 plus 41, which is 81. So our whole is 81. We can also look at it with the other way of the tape diagram where we can have the missing pieces. So I'm going to draw my 38 here, and then I'm going to draw my 43 here. Actually, that one's better for subtraction. So let's go ahead and avoid that one until we do a subtraction one. But you can draw your bins like this. That's perfectly okay. And then you can mark them bin and floor. Let's try to use the arrow method for this one. So I have 38 on the bin. Let's go ahead and use the arrow method to figure out. So we have 43. So the first thing I want to do is just get my tens out of the way. So I have 4 tens. So I'm going to do 1 10, 2 10, 3 10, and 4 10. Now let's go ahead and add them together. So skip count. So we have 38 plus 10, which is 48. 48 plus 10, which is 58. 58 plus 10, which is 68. And 68 plus 10, which is 78. Very good. So now we have a 78. And do we have to add anything else to it? Yes, we need to add the ones. So I'm going to add my 3 ones. So I have 1, 2, and 3. So let's count up by 1. 78 plus 1 is 79. 79 plus 1 is 80. 80 plus 1 is 81. And then we get 81. All right. So there's also ways to do this with subtraction, but that'll be for a little later lesson. So I hope you guys have a good day and enjoy lesson 1. And we'll see you back for lesson 2. Bye.